Word, son. What do you do, YouTube? It's your boy, Jay Divine. All right, before we get into this video, make sure to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share the word, spread the links, because you know how I do. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon so you're notified every time I upload. Without further ado, let's get up into it. All right, man. So before we get into the nitty gritty of this video, y'all see the comment on your screen, and I just want to highlight this for a second, because these are the comments that are somewhat similar to other comments that I would get from people that don't want to hear negativity coming out of a creator's mouth in regards to a game that was last played almost 11 something odd years ago. They finally get their hands on a current gen college football game, and the minute that somebody says something that's outside of the common consensus, you get told this. You know, this scares me, because this is something that we've all wanted. But I thought that if you wanted change, you spoke up and you talk about it. If you go to your favorite restaurant, right, you order your steak, however you order, right? Let's say you order a medium rare, right? And you get a well done cooked steak. That's not how you wanted it. So do you go and eat the food, or no, do you go get your food, see it, you cut it open and see that it's well done? Do you just eat it just because you're hungry? Or do you say, hey, I didn't want a well done steak, I wanted a medium rare? You go and you get your medium rare steak, and then you're good to go. The point that I'm trying to make here is you spoke up about it. You want change, you speak up about it. You're not looked at as complaining. The restaurant owner is not looking at you as complaining. It was just a misunderstanding, miscommunication on their end. Cool, not a problem. We apologize for that. Let me give you the actual steak in the style that you wanted. Not a problem. And how are you as a consumer? You're relieved, because why? You felt like you were being listened to. And the results showed that when you spoke up, you got the actual steak that you wanted. So seeing this is alarming to me, because I thought at the end of the day, we all wanted change. We all are on the same wavelength of us wanting change. But telling somebody this just because you don't want to hear negativity, that's not going to encourage change. You shouldn't shun anybody or shut anybody down just because you don't want to hear no negativity. Stop watching that content creator. Stop clicking on videos that don't even remotely look like something positive is going to come out of this person's mouth. Go watch another content creator that has more positivity than you possibly over a game that you're positive about. But I went off on a little tangent. Y'all pardon me. But let's get into the nitty gritty of this video. So I want to look at this play here, because physics just is not in EA's cards anymore. This is just the fact of the matter. For some weird reason, why do you guys think that it's fantastic or great, or it's just a shrug of the shoulders when somebody runs the ball like this? So you mean to tell me that this is rewarding of a touchdown? You got a guy damn near doing the limbo to get to the end zone. There is no gap for you to hit. If this was me, I would have been tackled in the backfield a long time ago. But you let a guy pretty much run through a block doing the limbo at an obtuse angle, pops back up as if nothing was in his way, and then he gets tackled. In the midst of the tackle, one of my guys comes up behind him, and they end up pushing him into the end zone for a touchdown, and he gets rewarded for that poor run. But yet, I get comments saying that, oh, the game ain't perfect. And speaking of perfect, I want to talk about that for a second. I happen to be on Twitter, and I saw somebody, you see it on the screen, I saw somebody say something along the lines of, you know, the people who say it's a Madden reskin, they're in shambles tonight. This is yesterday. People that's in, you know, they're going to be in shambles thinking it's a Madden reskin. They'll, yeah, an apology. This game is perfect. I seen that comment, and I said, okay, so if the game that you're talking about is you're playing it and you have nothing negative to say, everybody perceives it and looks at it as the game is perfect. All right. Everyone who is just overly eager, overly hype, and overly positive and is optimistic to the point where it's disgusting, it's perfect. It's a perfect game. But the minute I show you something like I just showed you, or the last video, or the video before last, if I show y'all something like that, then I get comments like, it's not like real life. In real life, it's not going to be perfect. The game ain't perfect. It's just the game. I get comments like that all the time, telling me that the game ain't going to be perfect. People insinuate every single time when I make these videos that I want the game to be perfect. You can never point out in a video where I say, I want this game to be perfect. ESPN NFL 2K5, All Pro Football 2K8, both top tier football games. I hate the fact that we're still bringing this up, but I need a little comparison here. Both of those games are great games. They're great. But they are cohesive, consistent products. I've said this in several videos before. There is no such thing as a perfect football game, and everybody keeps glossing over that. Everybody glosses over this part. I don't expect video games to be perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect video game. There's no such thing as that, because it's going to have its issues. All I want is a cohesive, consistent product. All of these comments gloss over that fact. I don't know if somebody needs to timestamp it. Do what y'all got to do. But there is no such thing as a perfect game. You can't say that the game ain't perfect, but you got people like that saying the game is perfect. You can go look at that tweet, if y'all can find it on Twitter, and see people showcasing their issues or talking about some of the issues that they're having. But they get drowned out by people who are overly excited, overly hyped, and optimistic to the point where it's disgusting again. And like I said, they get drowned out by those people. Anybody that has anything negative to say, you're thrown into the fire in the fiery pit. It's just what it is. The one thing I also want to talk about here is somebody was telling me in that video about the pursuit angles. People thought that I was wanting computer to make that tackle for me, right? And that's not the case. Pursuit angles are pitiful in this game. That's just the fact of the matter. But you say that usering is top tier, like you should be usering this year. Okay, cool. So let me show you this. So I'm playing against Alabama, and I happen to click on to one of my linebackers, if I'm not mistaken, and he throws a little drag, a little flat to the outside or whatever. And I click on one of my linebackers that's closest to the ball carrier, and I dive to make that tackle. But you see what he does instead. He pretty much is just a benign object diving in front of another object that doesn't even make a difference. There was no tackle being made on this play. And he ended up ultimately scoring on this play. You really expect me to sit here and have this optimistic attitude, positive attitude about a football game, a college football game that we haven't had in years? You're expecting me to have this same attitude every single time when I load this game up? You're really going to sit here with a straight face and expect me to say that? You're gonna sit here with a straight face, dislike this video, and type in the comments somewhere about, oh, well, this doesn't happen in my game. I don't have these issues. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you're just terrible at the game. Maybe you should get better. Even though these issues are being put in front of your face because you're not experiencing them, then they don't exist. Okay, so I guess so with that logic in the real world, just because people aren't starving near you right now, then that doesn't mean that there's other countries that are starving for food, right? So I guess because you don't see it, it doesn't exist, right? With that logic, right? You see how stupid that sounds? Do you really see how dumb that sounds? Or that's just like you having somebody close to you pass away, right? And you tell me, and I'm like, oh, well, nobody around me passed away, but, you know, I guess I don't really believe you, but, you know, whatever, I guess, you know, you see how dismissive that sounds? the fact that you guys are willing to go to bed and excuse every little single thing that happens in this game that you just possibly can't ignore from a competitive standpoint. You're going to go that far and just act as if, well, it doesn't exist. But on the flip side of this scenario, you see me trying to run the ball, right? Now, pursuit angles are trash, of course. So when a guy does pretty much the same exact thing that I did, right? Or he does the same exact thing that, I do the same exact thing that he did. You see me try to cut back in on the inside, or at least fake him to think I'm finna go left and then cut back in using L2 and the left stick. You see me literally cut back in. He's getting to dive in that direction that I once was in. But as I cut in, he hits square. They make him stop and turn on a dime to dive and make a tackle that isn't even physically possible to even make. Now, here come the comments again. Oh, it's just a game. It's not perfect. I mean, golly, you find everything to complain about. You always nitpicking. You and Ryan Moody do the same thing. Blah, 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 blah. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I say all this to say, when you want a better product, I'll go back to my previous point. When you want a better product, whether it's food, games, whatever your poison is, when you want something better, you speak up. When you want change, you speak up. If you go to your favorite restaurant and whatever food that you ordered, if it's not cooked the way that you wanted it to be cooked, you go to the counter and you tell them, hey, I want it cooked like this. And when they hear you, you get the product that you want cooked in that fashion, you feel better about it. Why? Because you spoke up, you got the change that you wanted. Same thing goes with everything else in the real world, especially when it comes to a product such as this from EA. These videos will not stop, ladies and gentlemen, whether you like it or not. So if you're going to waste your time talking about how, oh, you just complaining to be complaining, you might as well get settled in and buckle up, because these videos will not stop. This is a piss poor effort, ladies and gentlemen. I can't stand here and allow this to just pass by me and pretend like, oh, college football's back. It's okay if that happened. No, that's okay if that happened. It's okay. I mean, we got a college football game, so it's all right. You know, it's all right. I'm cool with that. No. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. Make sure you hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share the word, spread the links. Y'all know how I do. But I'm going to get up out of here, man. It's your boy Jay Devon, and I'm signing out. Peace.